Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So, in this lesson, we're just going to work on a couple of things just to polish up what we've done so far. And then we can continue on creating more functions. So, the first problem we have is, if I come to the scenes, we'll come to choose character scene. And when we actually choose the character, sometimes we may get a little delay, just a split second before the demo animation begins to play. And sometimes you can just see a little T-pose the character makes. So to solve that problem, we're going to hide that by coming to the choose character script, and we're going to have a particle effect that is going to play in between the switching of characters. So we'll need to put a variable somewhere, so let's put it here. I'll put it at the bottom. It can be of type private, game object with a capital G, and we're going to say underscore switch character particle system. We'll close that off, put it into the comments, defines naming convention for the switch and character particle system, and we'll want to come to the void update. Let's come to this function to begin with. So if get axis horizontal is less than minus 0.5, and let's have a look. So let's put this, I'm actually going to put it here between these two. I think that'll be the best place for it. So in between where we decrease the character select state and where we call the character select manager. And let's say we want the switch character particle system, and it's going to equals, and we want to instantiate open and close brackets. Inside the brackets we're going to say resources dot load open and close brackets again. Inside those brackets, little speech marks, we're going to say I'm going to call my switch character particles. You can give it any naming convention you like. But with that, let's come to the end of the line. We're going to say as, and we want game object, again with the capital G. Let's close that line off. We'll break it up for commenting. So I'll enter after the equals and we'll say then make switch character particle system equal, and we'll put then make character particle system equal resources load, and the next line we'll say the, and we want whatever naming convention you've used. So mine is switch CHAR particles, And let's say from the resources folder, and load into scene. So yeah, those comments will do, I think. We're going to say switch character particle system again, and what we want is dot transform dot position. We're going to say it's equal to a new vector 3, open and close brackets, close that line off, and let's have a look here. So I'm going to use these values, and we'll paste those in. So I'm just using the same values where I load the player in. May need some tweaking. I may want to instantiate the particle system just in front of the player, so between the character and the camera. But we'll tweak that later. Let's just get into the comments for now, and we'll say, and set particle system position, we'll say to equal, and we'll just say vector 3, and we'll just open and close brackets. Inside the brackets we'll just say this position. And I think that will do quite fine. So let's copy all of that. And now we want to come to the next if block for the inputs, and we're going to put it in the exact same place. So we'll just paste that in, and I'm going to copy this naming convention now. So let's just save that off. And you can obviously use any particle effect you wish. I'm going to use these because they're free particle systems from Unity themselves. They don't come with the standard assets, but you can actually download them straight from the asset store. And I'm going to use this one, I think, the plasma explosion. So I just dropped it into scene so you can see which one I am using. And what we'll do is we'll come and let's just drag that straight into the resources. And we'll F2 and we'll paste in the naming convention we made. So hopefully now, when we switch characters, it should load this into the scene. And in fact, I'm going to come back to the script, and this position, -7, I'm just going to change to -8. Just so it's in front of the player. And let's come back to Unity itself. Let's come to Edit, Project Settings and Input. And we're going to do something else now. We're going to increase the size by 1. And we're going to change that naming convention to Select. Let's just clear all the inputs and then we'll put our own in, which is joystick button 6. And now we're going to come back to this script and we're going to work on selecting a character at random, because most fighting games have a button you can press that will give you a random character. So we're going to have one. And let's have a look here. Where shall I put this variable? I'll put it here, I think. This can be of type private, int, underscore, and we're going to give it a naming convention of pick random character. Into the comments, so we'll say defines naming convention of our pick random character function. And yes, I am suffering with a little bit of a cough at the moment, so please excuse me, but I didn't want it to stop me actually making a lesson, because I know you all are waiting to get these polishing lessons up and done, so we can get on and create more functions. So I've come to the bottom of the void update, and I've created a new if statement. If input dot get button down, open and close brackets, inside the brackets little speech marks, and we'll use that select button we've just created. We'll come to the end of the line and we'll open and close there. So let's get this into the comments. We'll say if input equals the select button. We'll come inside and we're going to say underscore pick random character is going to equal a random dot range. Open and close brackets, close that line off, inside the brackets 0, and 7. And I have 8 characters, but because we are starting at 0 rather than 1, we need to come down 1 for the last number as well. So let's put this into the comments. We'll say pick random character value we'll say between a random range, let's say from 0-7. Obviously, if you have more or less characters, you'll have to adjust that number. Underscore character select state. We'll then make it equal to that random number. So equal to underscore pick random character. Into the comments, make character select state equal to pick random character value. We're going to say switch character particle system. In fact, we'll just copy that. There's no reason to go through it again. So let's just copy and paste in what we've done already. And we'll also need the character select manager line. So let's copy and paste that in. I'll just get rid of the empty line. We'll save that off. We'll downsize the script, wait for it to recompile. And we'll come back to the splash screen. And bear with me one moment while I plug my controller in. And then we can actually test out what we've done. So let's plug that in. We'll hit play. And we'll just let it run through. And obviously I'm going to redo the textures and backgrounds for this bit, I should mention, but I'll do that off camera to polish the game up. But for now we just want to select, see if it's working. So So we've got a problem with the particle system keeping playing, but let's see what we can do about that.
Round 1. Fight.
And that isn't the problem. We'll have to come to the resources. And let's just remove the looping effect for each of these subparts. And for the main one, we'll unselect it on all of them. Let's go through and test again. So obviously the particle system is a little too strong, but I'll adjust that off camera, and I advise you to do the same. Just experiment with the particle system options until you find a value that suits you. So let's have a look at this.
Round 1. Fight.
And just bear with me one moment. And I just wanted to check that the joystick button was correct. It's dealing with different joysticks. I do have to sometimes check what number it is. And we'll change the type to key or mouse button. It's not the 10th axis. You can select any axis, it doesn't really matter. And let's see if the random character select now works. We know the particle system does, even though it needs adjustment. So let's go through. So I'll hit the select button, and as you can see now, it's not going into its normal order because it's picking fighters at random. So that's our random character pick working also. And of course, let's just copy that audio component in as well. So let's have a look. Where shall we put it? We'll put it here with the particle system, and we'll save it off there. So that's all these lessons done, at least for now. In the next video, we'll continue on to create new functions and expand the game even further. And obviously we'll then come back every so often and just start to polish things up like we have here. So that is two functions, the actual particle system and the random character, now done. Obviously now we've put the audio clip to play inside that function. That should negate that error of the silence we was getting, and I think we'll leave it here for now. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.